and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Carol Jenkins. The program is Black America, and today we're joined by two young actors in the Broadway sensation, What the Constitution Means to Me. Written and performed stunningly by Heidi Schreck, you can tell I'm a fan, and directed by Oliver Butler. Thursday Williams is a high school senior, and Rosdely Ciprian is a freshman in high school. They're collecting rave reviews for themselves in the play, and thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Right. I saw you all when I came to the show on a matinee, and we were backstage, and I was stalking you guys, and I got an autograph and following on Twitter and all. But here, this is this wonderful play that I think is going to run forever. And who would imagine that it's all talk about the Constitution?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit first about yourselves, and the way we usually phrase this question is place yourself in Black America, but what we're really looking for is your story. Where did you grow up, and who are the major influences in your lives? Thursday, you want to start?
I was born in Jamaica, the islands.
Yes.
And I came to the United States of America at age 9. And I came here, I lived in Jamaica, Queens.
Of course, so did I, and my husband was Jamaican. There you go, they're
Wow.
all connections. You started debating at a very early age.
Yeah, I started, so in junior high school, I can say, it's fair to say that I was pretty lost. I don't feel like because now I look back at my report cards and I'm like, what happened? One day, my guidance counselor came to me and she's like, you like law, right? I'm like, sure, yeah. And she made me sign up for the legal outreach program. And the summer before my freshman year of high school, I studied at St. John's Law School through this program for 5 weeks and ended up doing a mock trial for the very first time and winning this mock trial at Thurgood Marshall Courthouse.
Wow.
From then,
Yes, and from then it's straight.
From then it was like, I can win. Okay, let's start speaking up more. Let's start doing more public speaking. So I started debating again through the legal outreach program through my sophomore year. I began debating at NYU Law School. And it's funny because all 3 debates that year I did not win, not one. Which was very discouraging.
It was very discouraging, but you persisted,
I didn't stop. And then my junior year, I did 3 more debates. I finally won the last debate and made it to championship at Thurgood Marshall Courthouse.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is all, now you'll find out why we're asking these questions about debating, because that's really what the show is a lot about. In addition to the Constitution, it's debating. But Rosdely, tell us what your experience was. You started debating when?
The second semester of 6th grade. My friend was recruiting people for the debate team. I just finished doing National Hockey League with Garden of Dreams in New York City, so I just finished doing hockey. And then I was just like, I'm looking for something to do after school. I'm just like, why not? So then I started doing debate. At first I was terrible, but then I got better and better and better. But then at the same time, I liked acting. So I was involved in the school play. I was involved with debating at the same time. So since Mr. Beatty, my debate coach, knew that I was like kind of a theater kid, he was like, oh, I think he recommended me to them.
To audition for the play,
yeah.
Right?
He recommended me, so I went, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
So you both auditioned and both got called back. And now I know, Rosdely, you started when you were 12 years old. You were doing the play with Heidi before it came to Broadway.
Yeah.
Right, so you were like a 12-year-old kid, in this major play. So let's stop and talk a little bit about the play. What the Constitution Means to Me is a Heidi Schreck's life story, actually. She entered into debate contests to win money to go to college and managed to pay for her entire college education. And then what did she discover about the Constitution? It wasn't exactly kind to, you wanted to pick that story up, right? Because the women were abused, there was domestic
protection from this document that claimed that it protects
Right. So that this document that is really the rule book for the way we live in this country does not include. Well, I'm a big fan of adding an amendment, as you know, called the Equal Rights Amendment, which would put some. And you guys do some of that afterwards. So after Heidi goes through her whole story, at the end, you guys come on alternating. Tell me how that works. The alternating of the shows. Which shows do you do?
So I perform on Wednesdays, Fridays, and 2 times on Sundays. And the show is basically the same. We only switch side. Someday Rosdely might do proposition. I will do opposition. My proposition arguments, we need to work on them, so I stick to opposition for right now.
Right. Right. And
I do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I don't know why Thursday doesn't perform on Thursday, but I don't know.
Right.
And 2 shows on Saturdays.
And 2 shows on Saturday, and you
Yes.
guys get all your work done. I hear you both doing well in school, so that's amazing. So Heidi tells her whole story in the first part of the show. Then at the very end, these 2 young women get up on the stage and debate with Heidi some amendment, some proposal, or whatever about the Constitution, and that is a riot because what they do is hand out a Constitution to every single member of the audience, and then it's a contest. Who wins, you or Heidi? Now, what's the ratio? Who's in that debate with Heidi? Who wins most, you or Heidi?
Well, ever since we've been switching sides, and sometimes me and Thursday do proposition, I think the audience is a bit scared to abolish the Constitution. For proposition is this House should abolish the Constitution. As opposition, this House shouldn't abolish the Constitution.
Right. So we're still talking Constitution. Should it be abolished or remain in place? And so they're afraid. You think the audience is afraid to say we want to abolish the?
Yes.
Well, I think it's scary that because for young kids, I think they expect us to be like, we want to keep the Constitution and let's just work on it because there's hope. But then I think they get a little scared when they're like, young kids want to abolish this document that our whole country was found.
Right.
Yeah, so I think they get a little, so I always lose. I always lose proposition argument, but when I do opposition, I always win.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Sometimes I win proposition, just like very rarely I would win proposition because I pick someone from the audience. So just like, yeah, let's do abolish. And I don't know if they actually think we should do this or are they choosing this because there's this young teenager that's asking them whether to keep or abolish the Constitution.
Right.
But yeah, when we do opposition, we always win.
Win. So you're 14 now. You started when you were 12. What's your place in Black America? Where, with your family, and who inspired you?
Well, both of my parents are Dominican, even though I was born here. They're from the Dominican Republic. I was born here. My influences were primarily Latino stars, but then as I got older, became Black stars. So many people from telenovelas, like Jennifer Lopez, and just like a lot of singers like that.
Because you really want to be an actor, right?
Yes.
So you auditioned and won this part, and you think that this is your future.
Yeah.
Thursday says no way. Thursday is going to become president of the United States one day.
Well, after I run for Congress and make an amendment to overturn the all natural rights citizens have to be,
Yes. Work to do.
Yeah.
Work to do. All right, so we have a clip of each of you. Let's start with Thursday, and let's see you in the play now that I hope we've set it up enough. So this is at the end, and this becomes a very raucous thing where the audience is cheering for one side or the other, and sometimes people are laughing and screaming and whatever, and sometimes they just sit there, right?
Yes.
But at any rate, let's take a look. First Thursday, let's take a look at her clip.
Judges, I agree that we have moved backward on some issues, but we all know there are ebbs and flows to progress. I would like to remind you all of the woman and dog running along the beach. Yes, I was listening from backstage. This brings me to my final argument. If we abolish the Constitution, we risk sending the country into complete chaos. Our country is more divided than it has ever been. The only thing holding us together as Americans right now is the faith in this document. We may choose to interpret it differently, but without it, we risk complete collapse. If we abolish the Constitution tomorrow, here's what will happen. Same-sex marriage would be illegal in 14 states. Abortion would be illegal in 30 states. Segregation would technically be legal in 32 states. Judges, Abraham Lincoln said the people should not overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who abuse it. Thank you.
Woo! Okay.
Wow.
Wow, right? I don't know. I think I'm on your side, you know, but okay. Now let's hear Rosdely. See her arguing.
Judges, our Constitution is like the Horcrux in Harry Potter. It is a piece of our founding fathers' souls that is still somehow still alive, ruling over the rest of us. Let me explain. In Harry Potter, a Horcrux is an object in which a dark wizard has hidden a fragment of their soul for the purpose of gaining immortality. It is time to destroy the Horcrux so that we can move on from the sins of our past and finally write a document that is truly democratic and fully alive.
Got big applause there, right. And there's Heidi working like mad in the corner trying to develop her talking points, you know, to debate you. It is an extraordinarily surprising theatrical experience because who could ever imagine that all of this, these rave reviews would be coming about the Constitution? I mean, how has it changed your lives? I mean, the notion of the Constitution and actually being in a play about it.
Well, at first, like I said in one of my speeches, I never really thought about the Constitution. I mean, I know it had its issues, but it's like, I thought, yeah, the foundation of our country, go America. But then when I started studying it more and just actually learning about the amendments and learning about what's right and what's wrong, I'm just like, I have mixed feelings about this now. I'm not sure how I should approach this.
Right. So I think I like the way you phrase it. You know, the Constitution has some issues, right? That's the. And how has it affected you, Thursday?
So I've been learning about the Constitution since before freshman year of high school. It's crazy because I know I said this in my argument too. I used to like this document. I think it's a smart document that's made to evolve over time and to change as society's norms and live it, you know, to change according to society. But we even bring this up in the debate too, but then when you look and actually like analyze the Constitution, the word woman is not in the Constitution. Equal is probably mentioned like one time, and some of these language that they use in this document is like, what are you got? You know, what are we talking about here, right? And
of course I'm nodding my head. Right. We need another amendment.
Right, we do need another amendment, and it's funny because doing this show and switching to proposition side, I'm actually like, this document. What was I thinking? Loving this document and thinking that this document protected me. And with the Equal Rights Amendment, I actually brought it to school because we had a project, and they were like, if you were in Congress and you had $100 million to invest in like anything concerning women and their oppression, I'm like, I would invest it in trying to lobbying for the Equal Rights Amendment and advertisement for these. And then I brought up the whole fact that we're only one state away from ratification, and it was crazy.
And I had nothing to do with this. No, that's the Constitution and the complaint. So I'm working for the, as some people know, for this ratification of this amendment, and one state away. So, and do you have a specific thing that you would change about it? What strikes you as most problematic about the Constitution?
Probably the Second Amendment. It's talking about guns. And it's like, in America, everybody has different feelings on the way they feel about guns and how some people think we should have gun control, some people think that we should eradicate it completely. So I feel like we can kind of fix that. I don't know how, but I do believe that we can and that it needs to be fixed because like right now everything's all mixed up and mumble jumbled because like, and this is the safety we're talking about. You should think that we should probably have this figured out by now.
Yes, I think you're right. It is problematic, right? So tell us about your futures. I want to hear more about what your path is, and then we're going to get to our presidential candidate here. But so what's your path?
Well, my path is college, majoring in theater, probably with a bit of medical on the side. definitely
Well,
medics.
that's a wild thing. What,
Yes.
medical on the side? It's a little hard to put on the side, but that's...
I'm still deciding,
Right.
so I can go to the acting path, the acting modeling path, all that, take
Yeah.
over Hollywood, take over everybody, floor everybody, just coming for everybody. But then I can also do something medical, you know, like maybe
So
surgeon.
after you do all of that, then you'll become a surgeon?
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Or a really big Hollywood star.
Right, or both, right?
Yes.
Right. Tell us about how you're going to create that path for those steps to the presidency.
I'm attending Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut this fall.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Thank you
That's
so
great.
much. And of course, I'm going to stay there for 4 years, then graduate Trinity. I will be going to law school because who knows? Before politics and before this show, I've always wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to represent juvenile delinquents. And so maybe, you know, that still might happen. So after law school, I plan to maybe be a lawyer for a few
while,
years. Yeah, just
right,
for a few years.
Right.
And then eventually run for councilwoman. Hopefully of my district, because
And where is... what's
District 28,
And that's where? In Brooklyn?
Jamaica.
Oh, in Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah.
You're still in Jamaica,
I'm
Queens.
still in Jamaica,
right,
Queens,
right.
yeah.
Great. Yay for Jamaica, Queens. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then once I feel like, you know, I've gained enough experience, I know what it feels like to be in office, how to, you know, accommodate to people's needs and wants, then I will be running for the House. I'll be running for the House. I don't know what age I'm going to be by that time. I'll be running for the House. I don't think I want to be a senator.
Why? Is that too boring? What's wrong with being a senator? No? So anyway, you're going to run for
For the House. And then, well, maybe I might, because if my plan works, which is to create an amendment to overturn or cross out one of the requirements for president, which is
right.
you have to be a natural born citizen, then, you know, maybe I'll, you know.
That's a great talking point, right? I changed the Constitution, so now I can run for president.
Right.
That is pretty good. Do you have, who are the people that you look up to now politically or in acting? You told me that you watched an entire season of something last night on Netflix. What was that?
Yeah, New Girl. They just came out with season 7, and I finished it.
Oh, the whole night, right? You just,
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Each episode's like 21 minutes, and there
Yeah.
are like 8 episodes of the season, so piece of cake for me.
Right.
So some of my the people I looked up to, definitely Gina Rodriguez, Liza Koshy, a YouTuber, influencer, Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey. There's just Gail, definitely.
Gail,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oprah's best friend,
Yes.
Gail. Right, right. And Thursday. Yeah.
I really love this woman. I have a giant picture of her in my house. I look up to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I can't wait
As do we all.
I can't wait till she comes see the show. And
That's
I
gonna,
mean,
yeah, that would be a night. Let me know when that's
oh,
happening.
that's
Yeah,
I am
you guys get on the
performing
phone
that
and
night.
call me up and say,
And that performance is going to be special. I already warned everybody. I'm so sorry if you're going to feel like I'm not talking to you, because I'm not going to be talking to you. I'm just going to be paying attention to the one lady that, like, I really love her. I love what she stands for, what she represents. But I also like, I like Sonia Sotomayor. I did her judicial internship program last summer, so I met her for like five seconds.
Heidi in the show has been a huge influence. Talk a little bit about, give her some props.
First of all, Heidi is smart.
Yeah.
Because even when I talk to people, I'm like, I don't know how she stands up on that stage speaking for an hour and remembers the line. I go up on stage and I can't even sometimes remember my first part of it, and I'm like, and she's able to talk for a whole hour. I think this piece that she created is really, it's really smart, it's really creative. She's also very fun and very down to earth. I look up to her because, you know, she's always been that person that I can talk to. She's always been there for me. And, you know, ever since I met her, and I even asked her the other day, I was like, why did you pick me? Because, you know, a lot of girls audition. I'm like, why did you pick me? And, you know, and then we just had a whole conversation about what me and her, because in some type of way, the story that she go on stage and tell is kind of my story and my family's story. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so we were able to sit down and have this conversation about how we try to detach ourselves from our family's history and our family's culture.
Very, very interesting, very moving. Rosdely?
Heidi to me is like a ball of sunshine with a really big brain.
Let me visualize. Yeah. Right.
She's very flowery, very smart, very influential, and it's like crazy because if you actually look at the physical script, it's like Thursday said, it's like a big booklet of lines and her story, and I'm just like, the fact that you can really dive into something that deep and that personal about your family without, like, I don't know, freaking out, it's like incredible to me because she's like so influential, so smart, and it's just like, that's a lot of family history there. And the fact that you're just there solo, just saying it to a whole bunch of people that you do not know, it's incredible.
And she's strong.
Yeah, she does. She does freak out a bit, and I mean, we all do in the audience, listening to that history of generations of domestic abuse that her great-grandmother, grandmother, and mother all experienced in some level, you know, or other, which really resonates with so many of the women and men as well in the audience, and I think that's one of the reasons that, you know, you guys keep getting extended, because it was like a 12 weeks only, and now it's like a 24 weeks only. I think you're going to have to get another theater, right, eventually, because it'll run, you know, forever. You'll be off at college preparing for law school, and balancing of schoolwork and work life.
Can get hard, but I manage.
No, it's really, well, for me, I don't know if it's because I'm a senior, but it gets crazy sometimes. There's times when I'm just like, I don't even want to do anything. Nothing. Like no work, no shows, nothing. Yeah. It gets very overwhelming, but I'm still pushing through. I have a lot of people behind me, and they're working with me, and that's all that matters.
Right?
You do a lot.
I do a lot.
Other than the play?
I am a sergeant for the Explorers program for the 103rd Precinct.
Oh my!
I miss my program so much. And I'm still in legal outreach. I'm a senior at legal outreach. I am in the student government at my school, but they're like, go be on Broadway. You're fine with us.
Well, I hope one of the things you did was, like Heidi, who in the debate contest when she was growing up, you know, she financed her entire college education by winning those contests. That was when I guess monetary reward was involved. So maybe, you know, this play has given you your college education.
Yeah,
you know?
it gives a lot of opportunities. Like, it's going to give a lot of opportunities that I am excited for.
Great, great. Well, I don't know, you guys are terrific. One of the last questions that we ask all of our guests is to finish the statement, the power, the strength of Black America, Latina America. Black America is what? What do you think about that? If you had to think, what's our strength?
I think, and I never thought it's crazy. I think we get most of our strength from our history of like oppression and tragedies, because it's like, look how far we've come from then, and now is the time when we really should be holding on to seizing this moment and really just keep fighting, because we actually have a chance to get on top.
Yeah.
Wow, if you're optimistic, I'll take that. You convinced me. Okay, yeah.
Well, to me, it's the future, because everything lies in the future. Like, there's like strength in the future from like pushing from history into the future. So there's always something to look forward to.
Are you satisfied with the America that we've given you?
No.
That's a quick no.
But it's good enough to where, you know, we can work, because I'm here and I'm filled with hope, as you can see. I just think that if I continue pushing, I mean, who would have thought I would have been on Broadway, right? Who would have thought I would have been in a play and on Broadway? I've never done acting in my life. And so I think what you guys have given us is, you know, it's just the beginning, right? And it's up to our generation to keep pushing forward and creating even more of a push for the future.
Well, great. Well, we thank you so much for being willing to take it on. And thanks so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for having
And
us.
everybody out there, please go see What the Constitution Means to Me. Thursday Williams, Rosdely Ciprian. You can catch them until July 21st, but I think it's going to run forever. What the Constitution Means to Me on Broadway now. And thanks so much to you out there for joining us today. I'm Carol Jenkins. The program is Black America. We'll see you the next time.